Hello beautiful, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to go over how to stop people pleasing forever with these 5 simple tips that I'm going to give you that is not going to only completely transform your life and your relationships, but it's going to allow you to live in alignment with your highest self. Learning how to stop people pleasing in your relationships is absolutely crucial in order for you to actually be in a long-term healthy relationship. So let's get to number 1. Number 1 is inner validation. So how you feel about a situation is enough for you to honor your feelings and your emotions and to actually trust that your intuition is guiding you for what is in alignment with your highest self. So you have to remember that your soul is always guiding you of what is actually in alignment for you, whether that's a relationship or a career, whatever decision you are wanting to make and you're scared to make that decision because you're wanting to people please. I want you to go back into your heart and ask yourself, what truly feels the most in alignment with me? And I want you to trust that decision. So one exercise that can really help for you to start trusting yourself again and to stop people pleasing is write a note of all the times that you listened to your intuition and that you trusted yourself and that you didn't people please and how well it went for you. And then I want you to do the opposite list. I want you to write down all the times that you did not trust yourself and your intuition and how it ended up backfiring and didn't end up going your way. Okay, so this is a really good way for you to see in paper like, oh wow, I can actually trust myself. And the more that you do this, the more that you will build more self-trust with yourself that you are making good decisions. So one of the biggest things that really allowed me to stop people pleasing is I was in my last relationship and I was in a place where me and my ex, we were like in an on and off relationship, and this was the last time that we were dating. And I remember that it just got to a point where I really just had an intuitive feeling that this relationship just was not something that I really saw myself in long term and wanting to end it. And I remember I was in my therapy session and I'm telling my therapist, like, I think I want to end this relationship, but when I tell my partner, he's like listing all the things that he does for me and he's listing all of the good things that, all of the good things that he does for me, and pretty much in a way not agreeing with me breaking up with him. And I know this might sound silly, but if you have been in relationships, you know how breakups can be really hard. And my therapist looked at me and he said, Amber, no one has to agree with you in order for your decision to be worthy, for your decision to be a good decision. If that's what is in your heart, then you have to trust what is in your heart. You do not need your partner's approval to agree with you that this relationship is or isn't in alignment with what you want long term. You can trust yourself and you can make your decision. You can validate yourself. So that's what goes to number 1, is having that inner validation and knowing that no one else has to agree with you. So whether you're wanting to start a business, but maybe your family is telling you that you're crazy and that, you're never going to be successful, you can listen to them and look for that outside validation, or you can decide, you know what, I am going to validate my own decision and trust that this is the best decision that I can make. Number 2 is realizing that the people that truly love you and respect you will be there for you even when you set boundaries. And if someone leaves your life because you have boundaries, it's because they probably don't truly love you and respect you, and they really only like when you are benefiting them or when you're doing things their way. And you have to remember, that is not true love. We all came here to this world as free souls to do what is in alignment with what God and what our soul is calling us to do. So if you have someone in your life that, is completely disregarding the decisions that you're wanting to make, again, if that's a good decision that is in your heart, then that person probably should not be in your life. And I know that this can be hard if it's more like family situations, but especially if you're having this in your friendships and your relationships, again, you have to remember to honor yourself. Number 3 is that you teach people how to treat you. So if you don't have boundaries and you enable people to bend your boundaries based on what they desire, you are teaching people in your life how to treat you, especially in dating and in relationships. Plus, when you don't actually hold your boundaries, you actually turn on the predator side to a man instead of the protector side to a man. So you setting boundaries not only honors you, but it also increases the self-respect that a man has for you. And you have to remember, a man having respect for you is one of the most important pieces for a man to actually look at you as long-term potential and for marriage. If you don't respect your boundaries, a man is going to look at you as someone more so for right now, for a good time, for the moment, rather than wifey material and long-term marriage. Number 4 is that rather than seeing boundaries as a bad thing, I actually want you to look at them as an amazing and great thing, because not only do boundaries allow you to honor yourself, your feelings, and your emotions, which is so important as a feminine woman, but it also teaches others that they can do that as well. When you are setting boundaries with others, people realize, oh wow, I don't have to people please. I can actually honor what is in alignment with me. And again, you have to remember, in order for a healthy relationship to thrive, not just romantic, but in friendships, it's about people honoring themselves, honoring their feelings, honoring their emotions. And also, this is going to help you to actually create healthy communication and conflict and resolution skills. Because when you come and you tell someone your boundary and you say it in a feminine and warm way, which really just means that you're expressing how you are feeling and what feels good for you, then you're allowing the other person to honor you. If the person, I feel like a lot of the times in people pleasing, it's like our nervous system, we just kind of like shut down, we don't say anything, and then we just kind of go with the flow and whatever is going on. But if you can actually start, going within and saying, okay, if something doesn't feel good, and just telling people in a nice way. I think a lot of the times we saw maybe our parents growing up, when they were having conflicts, it wasn't in a healthy way. But you have to remember, just because maybe you saw that growing up doesn't mean that that's how conflict and resolution has to be. You can definitely have healthy conflicts where no one is raising their voice and you are just in a very calm manner sharing how you're feeling and what is actually in alignment with you, and then asking the masculine, what do you think about this? So in a situation saying, you know what, this is how I feel, this is what I'm looking for, or this is what I desire, what do you think? How can we do this, right? So that is all. It's actually really simple. And when you come to a man telling him your boundary, telling him how you feel, and that, like I said in the last, for number 4, is that increases so much respect for you, because not only he's like, oh my gosh, like this queen is literally not only has healthy communication skills, but she knows how to express herself. I know that I don't have to walk on eggshells and try to guess what she wants, because she's literally just coming to me, not attacking me, not yelling, not being passive aggressive, but she's just coming at me and telling me how she feels and her desire. I promise you, when you do this, obviously you have to be in a healthy relationship in order for this to work, but with a healthy masculine man, he will love it, he will cherish you, he will respect you, and he will really see you as that queen that he wants, for a long-term relationship. And number 5 is that people are always reflecting back to you your own beliefs of a certain situation. So if you feel like, if you truly work on doing the inner work, you do step number 1 that I mentioned, do the exercise, start trusting yourself, start speaking out when something doesn't feel good, say it in a feminine way, just share how you're feeling. You don't have to attack anyone. But when you start changing your feeling and about about boundaries overall and seeing, you know what, I can trust myself. Wow, it feels so good for me to set a boundary and for me to actually honor myself rather than put myself in situations that I don't feel safe with. You will see not only the huge difference that it makes in your relationships, but how much better your life is because now you're actually honoring yourself. And again, you're following the path of in alignment with your highest self. So when you do this and you actually start to change the way that you look at boundaries and you truly in your core believe that boundaries is an amazing thing, not only for you, but for the men and people in your life, people will reflect that back to you. You will literally, for the most part, with healthy people, you will not have a problem with people respecting your spoken and non-spoken boundaries. It is crazy, ladies, but now in dating, there's so many times where I actually don't even have to say my boundaries because my boundaries are so strong energetically in my being that the men that I date can read my boundaries and I don't even have to say them. So the more that you are strong in your boundaries, you won't even have to speak them most of the time, and the men in your life will actually just begin to treat you so much better. One affirmation that you can do if you're struggling to set boundaries and really keep boundaries is saying, people respect and honor my boundaries. I honor and respect my feelings and emotions. I honor and respect what is in alignment with my highest self. So any affirmation that is saying, you know what, I honor myself and other people honor my feelings and my emotions, you will start to see that in your reality. Because again, it's not just about what you believe consciously, but subconsciously. So if you have struggled with people pleasing for a long time, saying affirmations for you to start changing those subconscious thoughts of how you look at boundaries is going to be a life changer. This is the end of the video. I hope these tips were helpful for you. And if you're wanting to truly level up and really step into your queen energy and attract your dream man, you can join my new course, the Queen Embodiment, below. This is the exact course that I took myself in my healing and level up journey to actually become a high value woman, to actually increase my self-worth, my self-esteem, and also attract an abundance of high value man so that you can actually attract your dream partner to you. So you can click the link below, and I will also attach my free feminine guide and my free masterclass that I just did on learning how to become a magnet to high value men. I will see you in the next one. Bye, love.